When you have a wound, even if somebody is playing with you and they touch it, you shout, you scream, you react to it immediately. One of the signs of unresolved trauma is overreacting to things, being easily triggered in a particular area.
So now, many people are hearing therapy. Sometimes they may think that, is it that you dip me inside water, or is it that you raise my leg, or you raise my hand? So what exactly is therapy? Not like what they know what is therapy, but they want to know, what does it look like? What happens in therapy?
Okay. Therapy can even be what we are doing. Therapy is more of communication. It is not a space where you go to get judged, for them to tell you you are wrong. So how dare you? How could you? No, therapy is where we welcome you with warmth. Even if what you did is wrong, therapy is where we welcome you with warmth, critically analyze what happened, and then go deeper into finding out the reasons behind what happened or the emotions behind what happened, because most times it is not about what you did. It's about the emotions sponsoring it. For example, a man who is violent beats his wife. When you come to therapy, it is not my job to tell you that the Bible says you should love. How dare you? Yes, to leave. But then when you come, the first question can be, how do you feel after beating your wife? And then the person can say, I feel relieved, but then I still feel guilt. And then the next thing you can say is, the fact that you feel relieved means there is something you are giving out. Because it is only when you give out something. So what is that thing you are giving out? How did it build up? What is your background? How did you grow up? Did your parents shout at you when you express yourself as a child, so you bottle them up in be a man? And then the next place where you want to give it out is with your wife. So therapy is warmth. Therapy is structured guidance. Therapy is not where we come to tell you it's well, you will be fine, you will be fine. You just pat your back and make you feel temporarily okay. Therapy is structured guidance. Therapy is care, but structured. It's structured care. You don't just care anyhow. You structure it in a way that helps that person become a better person.
I have a lot to say about this thing that she said now, because some people actually give out bitterness.
Yeah.
They just want everybody to feel sad. So if they come into a place, especially for people that are bosses, they come to the office and they say that everybody is okay, and they came with so much bitterness and anger to give out, and then they will now start dishing it one by one, so they get everybody's faces frowned, right? So some people, from the way they behave, you would see that these people had a traumatic childhood, and even when they are telling you about their childhood, you find out that some people were raised by soldiers, where you don't make a mistake. Out of fear not to make a mistake, you will now make the mistake. Then they grow up trying to give out the same thing.
Give out the same thing they receive.
So they have so much
and sometimes it's unconscious. Because in my study of the human mind and behavior, I've seen that human beings are like computers. It is what you type into the keyboard that you see on the screen. So, but a healed human being, a whole human being, is the one that decides that the fact that I received this thing does not mean I should give it out. The fact that, I was stereotyped, I was body shamed, these are some of the things we don't talk about.
And sometimes they don't really, it's not like they intentionally want
to. They don't know. They don't, it's just unconscious,
So patterns keep repeating, but you see, this thing is important, and that's why I was telling you that even though some of people here, they want to chase money and all that, when they understand truly, they'll come for it because they need it. When people don't have awareness, they don't care, but when they do, they want it and they talk about it. So how do we know that we've emotionally healed?
Okay. So I'll start answering by saying that healing does not mean forgetting.
Yes.
I hear it a lot from clients, especially first time, where they say, I just want to forget it. How do I forget? I tell them, no, you can't forget it. In fact, trying to forget what you've not healed from will frustrate you the more, will drive you deeper into depression. Because we do not have the ability as human beings to wipe our memory. You will always remember. But you know that you've healed when it no longer hurts, when you remember it. For example, something you remember and you're always crying. And then as you go on in the journey of healing, you discover that when you remember, it doesn't hurt as much. In fact, you get more comfortable talking about it. You get more comfortable with the memories that you even begin to draw lessons. For example, one of the signs for me that I had healed from, the things I went through as a young girl, as a teenager, is that I began to see my contribution to it. I began to see that it wouldn't have lingered this much if you spoke out. If you had insisted, nothing will happen. Heaven will not fall.
You don't shift lanes again.
You no longer exactly. That's one of the signs as well. You don't place yourself in a position where you are 100% the victim. They did it, but I began to see my contribution. One of my contributions, like I was saying, is that I was not that outspoken. Even at points where somebody will hurt you and is the one shouting at you, and you are looking, you're just there, you're looking at. You stepped on me, bro, and you are the one crying. Okay. You can imagine. So I began to see my contributions to it, and I'm like, okay. So from now henceforth, if you go through this again, it means you did it to yourself, not that person, because you are old enough to talk. You're old enough to walk away. You're old enough to take responsibility for yourself. You know. So one of the signs that you've healed is when you begin to draw lessons. Another sign of emotional healing is self-awareness. Okay. Healing makes you know yourself better. You know your boundaries. You know things you can't take as a human being. You know your genetic makeup. You know things that are extreme for you. Even if other people don't see it as a big deal, for you, it is a big deal. Another sign of emotional healing is that you begin to have better boundaries. And you're not afraid of making them known to people. You're not afraid of saying, sir, I can't take your call beyond 9 p.m. This is my time of resting, this is my time of studying, or whatever. You stop over explaining yourself. Healing makes you know that no is a complete sentence. I don't need to explain to you why I can't be there. I don't need, in fact, it helps you to put people in their right positions in your life. There are people that would invite you for something and you'll be like, no, I have an engagement, I have a meeting. There are people that from the blues, I had an experience that this is my first time of mentioning it publicly. At the time when I was waiting for admission into the university, I got an invitation from somebody. We are not close. We know we have a WhatsApp group in common. So, and then I think we've seen once in a church program or something. And the next thing is you send me an invitation to your matriculation. And you are telling me that you know that I'm not yet in school. You're inviting me so that I can come and tap from your grace. I read the message. Oh, thank you. That was my reaction. I read the message over and over again. And I'm thinking, what gave you the mind?
Did I tell you that
I don't know.
Did I tell you that I am lost, or maybe I'm looking for?
There's a problem. She get that. So, and I just said, thank you so much for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. Number one is that I'm busy. I didn't have to explain more. I just said that I won't be able to make it. I'm sorry, but congratulations on your matriculation. But I know, number one is I'm busy. Number two, we do not have the kind of relationship that will make me leave my state to another state for matriculation. And a whole lot of things. But if it was me before healing, number one is that I'll beat myself up
for not going
so much about that message, because I'll be like, okay, you know, is it not because, you know, that victim mentality will just be fueled. You know, like, yes, everybody is now higher than me, everybody is succeeding, I'm the only one that is.
I see the way she's even telling me.
Exactly. But I didn't really I laughed it over. I just said, I'm not coming. And another benefit of emotional healing is that you begin to have a closer relationship with God.
Yes.
A broken person hardly sees God as a father.
Wow.
A broken person will feel more comfortable relating with God as the I am that I am, the consuming fire, Jehovah Nissi. But when it comes to fatherhood, a broken person feels unconsciously not qualified to be called a child of God, to have that father. That's why you see them surprised when you say, God told me that. Why not just try this outfit? One of those, no, they are often surprised that you can have, that you can have that simple relationship with God, and they find it hard to understand that God has a sense of humor because they just see that everything is too serious. When you begin to live in the present, it is also a sign that you've healed. You're no longer worried about the past. You are planning for the future, but you're not anxious about it. You take your time to live in the present, enjoy the moment, enjoy your youth. You know, we have goals, ambitions, and all of that, but healing makes you understand that you're not succeeding, you're not working to succeed to prove people wrong. You're succeeding to become the picture of you that God saw or had when he was making you. You're just growing to become identical with that picture, not because you want to prove your uncle that said you want to show them. You want to show them. No, there is peace, there is contentment, there is joy. And another sign of emotional healing is when you are able to give out love and receive love. There are situations where you force yourself to care for people, love them, but when they try to reciprocate it. Your own inside, you don't want to lean on anybody's shoulder, but you've kept your shoulders for a lot of people to lean on. But when you're emotionally healed, you become comfortable. You give and you receive, and then you become more discerning. You become more discerning to know the people who are benefiting from your pain and keep them at arm's length. Because there are many people who can be with you when you are in pain, but they can't stand you succeeding. They can't stand you becoming, because emotional healing is like the stage of metamorphosis in the life of, I think, a butterfly or housefly, where they mold, they break out of that thing and they just come out, they spread their wings and they begin to fly. That is an example of emotional healing. Many people can be there with you when you cry on their shoulders, you beg them for money, beg them for clothes because you don't have much, but some of them cannot stand it when the healed version of you comes out and you're able to speak out more boldly, you're more confident, you are more self-aware, you know yourself better now.
Them at arm's length, because why should you be okay with me only when I am?
Yes, and it is a mirror of their own emotional state.
Honestly, because they want to like feed off on my own issues.
And just some of them are not really doing it out of sheer wickedness. Some of them it's unconscious, but they just notice that they are uncomfortable when you come to tell them that I discovered this about myself, this, that, and they begin to see it as rebellion. That is where you see leaders that feel like, this person who is under me is outgoing on social media, is doing this, is doing that, and they begin to find faults. They begin to attack it. They begin to find faults. You are rebellious. You're not following the rules. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. And it just constitutes a lot of problems. But emotional healing makes you more discerning. At this point in my life, there are times when I will see messages from people, and I know you are not coming because you love me. You are not coming to support me. You're just coming to show off that you know me. You're just coming to attach your name.
Exactly. It's just like that. And that's why, I used to tell my mom, she'd be like, me this. I'm like, I'm not quick to mingle, because I know those that are not just they just be there. They are with you.
Just attach their name. Just attach their name.
And that's why you can't even be vulnerable to everybody. Because when you're vulnerable to everybody, we are just taught to tell people your problems. Don't hold it in. You don't go and tell somebody that just wants to feed off.
It will become social media content.
This confident doctor, she's going through this. Do you know that?
And that's where you begin to see posts from people, and they're like, everybody's going through something.
Don't mind them.
Forget the social media packages. Everybody is going, and most of the times it is not out of empathy or sympathy. It is out of that fueling of the human ego that I thought you were better, but now that I see, I know that I'm actually better. So emotional healing makes you more discerning. And when I noticed that, one of the signs for me that you're coming to attach your name to me is when we've not talked for long, but you're already calling me your friend on social media. You're already posting. You are screenshotting my chats with you, and you are posting it, and you're not even cropping my name out.
She messaged me.
Exactly.
Her.
And all of that
kind of things.
So that there are a lot of benefits and signs of emotional healing. Another sign of emotional healing is peace.
Yes.
And when we say peace, it is not the absence of chaos. It is your ability to remain calm in the midst of chaos. Because one thing emotional healing does is that it prepares your capacity to handle challenges. You know that if I had survived that, I can survive this. Even if this is bigger than that, I can still survive. Sometimes I'll look at myself and tell myself, Esther, is it not you again? You will survive. You will be fine.
Yes.
So peace is one major sign of emotional healing, where you're just calm. You can spend time in stillness. Another sign of emotional healing is when you're no longer running away from yourself. You sometimes people who are depressed or emotionally unstable, they are afraid of being alone.
Sorry, let me cut it your name. Even phone addiction.
Exactly.
Sometimes means that you're not addressing what needs to be addressed. So you're looking for something
running away. Running away. You're looking for artificial ways to boost your happy hormones,
so that you don't face what you're going through.
Exactly. When you're no longer running away from, you can be at peace with yourself. You look in the mirror and you like who you see. You love who you see, even if there are areas that needs improvement. I had an experience one time. And, as a chubby person, I also had this body insecurity where it took me time to work on it. And at the moment, one of the days, the Holy Spirit was telling me, deciding to lose weight is not bad. Working on yourself is not bad. You're actually doing it for your health and to fit into the picture of you that I have. But you have to love this version of you, to be able to give birth to the version of you that you're looking forward to. If you do not love this one, you would kill this one in the bid of trying to get there. That's where you see people go under the knife, go under surgeries that health-wise they're not qualified to go through, and you see people dying because they are trying to do body enhancement. You know, loving yourself enough is part of emotional healing, where you don't have to put yourself in danger to be there for others. You know, selflessness is good, but when it's toxic, it becomes a sign of an inner problem. A sign of an inner problem. The only person who was allowed to die for us is Jesus. If you die for another person, number one is that it is not even valid. Savior mentality, where you see yourself as the fixer, you want to fix everybody, but you are broken, or you're broken. So there are a whole lot of signs of emotional healing. They are inexhaustible.
See this video? I'm going to watch it myself. I'm going to pick out my lessons. First, I'm not even saying this because I'm trying to make her feel good for what she has said, but she is loaded and what she's saying is valid. So now, many people are broken in relationships and they don't know. You know, so let's talk about the signs that you see in somebody and know that they are broken in their relationships.
Okay. One of the things that breaks relationships, according to my experience with the client, is the fact it's not even the relationship, but what they carried into the relationship. So many people will break up physically with a person, but emotionally they have not broken up, and they carry forth memories. So you begin to see that I'm in a relationship with you, but each time we talk, I laugh. You're telling me I'm laughing like your ex. I talk. You're telling me this is what she said the day we broke up. I do this. I wear pink. You tell me that even with all her pink, she was a devil. You know, all those things. That's one of it. What you carried in. And then another sign is comparison. My mother is my daddy, my uncle. If I don't want you to do what my father did to my mother, you know,
because it's valid.
It's valid, but you have to see. If you do not heal from it, you will attract it. You continue to attract it.
And sorry, that's this one now. The fact that if you don't eat for something, you attract it. Isn't it weird? Because you don't want it, but you attract it.
The reason why you keep attracting it is because emotional instability is a belief system. It is a mind structure. And once it is in your mind, you begin to attract. It is like a law of nature. Wow. Because there are belief systems that sponsor characters, behaviors, and responses. And so you don't like this thing, but the things you do is attracting them. For example, you don't like an aggressive man because your father was aggressive, or somebody whose father was aggressive, and then unknown to you, you are aggressive. Even when a gentleman comes close to you, he can't stay. The only ones who can stay for long are the ones like you that will come. So when you heal, you place yourself in a position not to attract what you went through or what you're trying to stay away from. That is why most of the people who have had the first divorce, second divorce, check the marriages of their parents. Check some of their parents were not divorced physically, but emotionally they were divorced. Some of these men who are beating their wives, overly traditional, very patriarchal in nature, some of them came from homes where their mothers were too manipulative. So the father is training his son and is telling his son, if you get married, don't allow a woman to control you. So when he now enters a relationship or he gets married and the woman is bringing a suggestion, he becomes triggered immediately because he just doesn't want a repeat of circle, not knowing that this is not even what this person is trying to do. He's just trying to give you a suggestion. So there are a whole lot of signs of traumas in relationships. There are times when I have clients that are in marriage, married people, I would tell them, what I can do now is to fix your emotions, make sure you're emotionally stable, and then I'll refer you to a marriage counselor. Because when you think that the problem is your partner, or the problem is your partner, sometimes when we look at it, you are the one sponsoring their attitude. Exactly. You know, the man doesn't talk to you. The last time the both of you talked, how did it end? What did you say to him? He's not opening up to me. The last time he opened up to you, what did you do? You immediately became like your mother. You started mothering the man who is supposed to be a lover to you. You're telling him, how did you do that? Do you know? You okay? Sorry, I spoke in more language. Are you okay? Why would you do that? The next time such a thing happens, he does not want to be mothered, so he will not come to you. So there are a whole lot of signs of traumatized people in relationships and even in marriage. Speaking of intimacy, sometimes a man would complain that when I want to talk to my wife, she just cringes. She doesn't want it. She wants to starve me. Sometimes it is not that she wants to starve you. Sometimes it's just that the touch reminds her of something. So when I have such clients, the first question I ask her is not Why? The question I do ask is, when he touches you, what do you feel? What comes to mind? And when you analyze these things, you're able to get down to the root. Some of them is not even a rape case. Some of them, they remember the first time they were with you and you were rough, very rough. So the mind just captures it as this person is aggressive. When he touches you, don't just, there are a whole lot of it. And then another thing I'd like to talk about is our expectations in relationships. Sometimes we think that when you find love, the God when, yes, and we think that love fixes a broken person. Love does not fix a broken person. You can love a broken person and guide them to heal, but love does not fix a broken person. In fact, if care is not taken, it will break you the more.
Wow.
So sometimes we just go into relationships a whole lot of expectations. If he doesn't do this, he's not the one. There are many red flags.
Not the one.
There are many red flags that sometimes when I listen to what people call red flags, and I'm like, even you that you are saying it, you are doing this thing. So how is it a red flag? How is it that somebody forgot something and it's already sometimes what we call spec is actually the version of things we lost in childhood. So you're now mistaking what you never had for what you need now. You're looking for a man that can be like a father to you because your father was absent. That is why you see that the trend of young girls marrying way older men. Check, many of them had absent fathers. So unconsciously, the girl child in them, even though they are grown, is still looking for a father. So if he now presents himself as a husband, no problem, I will accept, but that is what I'm looking for. And you see that they enter into it. They see that this is not what I need. Your mind, your emotion, your body is telling you, I was looking for something and got here, but this is not what I need. Divorce. So
you're still looking for
you're still looking for it. Your healing is basically your responsibility and not the responsibility of another person. It is not the responsibility of your spouse. It is not the responsibility of your parents. It is not even the responsibility of the people who broke you. Because many people are waiting. They have to come and kneel down, apologize. If you wait, sometimes you wait till you die. Because some of them feel like what they did is right.
And that's what they know.
And that's what they know. So your healing is your own responsibility. You don't enter into a relationship and you're expecting this person to meet up in the areas where your ex didn't do well. In the areas where your ex didn't do well, so you're expecting he didn't do this, so you have to be. No, healing, honestly, emotional healing is just something everybody has to experience because it makes you understand people and know how to relate with them. You choose your words wisely. You know when to explain, when to talk, and when to just quietly walk away, holding your dignity and self-respect intact. So I think that's just it.
Wow. And okay, I think we've talked about this, but some ladies actually, they'll see that this person that I'm in a relationship with does not care, does not call, does not check up, is not present at all, and then will always tell me they are busy, and then you are there striving so hard to keep them
to make it work.
This is also a sign that something is wrong, right?
People pleasing is a sign that something is wrong, because some of them, when they tell you I've not left because I love the person, I think it's not true. Because love for me is not necessarily an emotion. It's not just the tushy. It's a choice of commitment. Whether or not you feel like it, you've chosen this person and I'm going to do this with you. I want to be there with you. So many of them, it is not love. It is the fear of being rejected. It is the fear of being back to the streets. Let me use that word. Being back to the streets. It is the fear of what people will say. Because shame, I've come to understand that shame is not necessarily what people think. It is what you think that people will think. It is what you think that people will think. So you are just checking, how do I leave this relationship? For people who are in overly abusive marriages, how do I leave this marriage? It's just that it is a sign of trauma. And most of the times it is linked back to their childhood. A child who comes from home where there is love will not be so afraid of going back home.
There's love at home.
Yes. Because if there is love at home, you will not be so afraid of going back home. You're just running away from something. And that is why I think that, or I feel that emotional healing, it should be a qualifying factor for entering into marriage or relationship. Because if you're not healed, you place so many demands on your partner that you just wear them out. You frustrate them. And then imagine when two broken people are coming into exactly just give birth to more broken people, repeating patterns. And one of the things that you have to do away with in your journey or seeking emotional healing is pride. There is this ego.
I am this.
Yes.
I can't be.
There is this ego of man that does not like to admit that I am not okay. There is this ego. You just want, I don't know, I'm fine. You repeat it to yourself like a mantra. I'm fine. Exactly. That's why even Christians that are afraid of living a relationship or marriage, the problem most times is I am this, so how will I now? Life has not happened to you. You tell people I'm not a preacher of divorce, I'm not, but life can happen, and you cannot dispute that fact that life can happen to anybody. So do away with pride. Leave the reputations you're trying to protect, because in your emotional healing you'll find your true identity. The reputation that you don't need to work so hard to keep that face. You work, you try to, you're covering it up.
You're working so hard to keep it, just that you don't even have it.
You don't have it. Exactly. What you have, you're not. It's not as if you will not be, but you will not. It will not be so stiff.
Yes.
So that's it.
You have a lot of work to do. Because this thing you're talking about, many people need to hear it. And to be honest, I don't even, maybe because I don't follow you closely like that on social media. Because this thing you're saying, people need to hear it. And that's why I'm happy about your conference. Like, if these are kind of things that they're going to be hearing in that conference, it will help them a lot. So yeah. How can we reach you?
Okay. I'm on Facebook as Esther Otoka. I think my name is the same on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Which I'm working on making sure I consistently show up. But then my name is the same on every social media platform I'm on.
Yeah. Your phone number, maybe I'll add it to this. Your email too, in case they want to reach out to you. Are you available to travel in case anybody wants to invite you over? Depending, right?
Yeah, I'm available.
Depending. In place.
Exactly.
Exactly. To use road and go to Lagos.
Exactly. I'm open for speaking engagements, trainings. I also do trainings for leaders in different sectors, teachers, church workers on emotional intelligence and how to meet the emotional needs of the people in their sectors. For the teachers in schools, I train them on meeting the emotional needs of the students and how to connect emotionally to their students. And then for leaders in other sectors, church workers, you name it, I offer those trainings through my company. And then to add a little bit on the conference, the Healing Festival. The Healing Festival is an annual event that my company started hosting last year. And it is basically where we come to find healing. And I will not promise you that you'll come there and heal that day. Healing is a gradual process. It's not magic, but it's going to give you a huge head start. And the theme of this year's conference is Made from the Furnace. Made from the Furnace. Where the fire you think is burning you, want to die, teaching you how to break out of it and come out a refined version of you.
So what's the date? The time?
Okay, the date is
how to register?
The date for the conference is on the 27th of June this month, 2026. And then time is 10 a.m. It's on a Saturday. The venue is 5-Star Foods and Restaurants, Stock Exchange, GRA Onitsha. And what else did you ask?
I would ask you give me the link.
Okay, yes.
I'll add it to this video. Maybe on the description of the video too, so they can click it.
Yes.
The link to register. I think it's free.
It's free, but the registration is compulsory.
All right. Okay. So we have 3 speakers at that conference, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about them.
Okay, one of the speakers is O.C. God's Time. He spoke to us last year and he'll be back this year, but majorly for the panel session. In the panel session this year, we want to dig deep into church hurt. That's one thing that we, just pick. And it's one of the sources of the current argument and bantering in the body of Christ. This person is saying this person is not a man of God. This person is calling this person out. Everybody's trying to prove that they are the only true man of God. In the body. So, and many people have been hurt in the church. Many people have gotten broken. Some ladies have been taken advantage of by their leaders in the church. And we are not talking much about it. So, O.C. God's Time will be coming basically for that. We have Bright Ifeanyi Chukwu. Bright Ifeanyi Chukwu is a Christian marriage counselor. But on that day, he would be talking to us more about purposeful pain. Coming out of pain and turning it into purpose. And then we have Dr. Mrs. Nancy Obienwa. She's a woman I've seen who proved pain wrong. I mean, as a widow, but she has done so much. She has healed so much, done so much. I have spoken with her, and when I see people who speak out of pain, I know she does not speak out of pain. When we have serious conversations on marriage, but she has never given out that emotion of what if he dies? What if? No. when we talk about marriage, we talk about it squarely. There is no infusion of trauma. There is no. She has healed so much that it will be an honor for us to learn from her. Also, I'll be taking a session, but it's I'll also be taking a session in the program.
Actually, this is a master class. So. I was not even looking at the time again. That we said we are going to do 1 hour 30 minutes. So it's good. Can you talk about your books?
Okay. Currently I have one book.
Okay.
The name is Dear Tama, and it was written as a guide to healing, specifically from sexual abuse. In that book, I shared my own experiences with sexual abuse and how God helped me and how I healed. So Dear Tama is my book. Currently, I'm working on other books, but they're not yet published.
Okay, so how much is Dear Tama?
Dear Tama is 2.5.
Is it ebook?
It's ebook. Then we have the hard copy. The hard copy is 3.5.
Okay. So I'll put these details on the screen and how to get them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for honoring this invitation.
Thank you for having me.
I've learned a lot myself, and I believe that the audience has also learned a lot. And yes, now that I understand fully what you do, at least when I have clients that are talking about therapy, because I tell them I don't do therapy, right? But yeah, somehow in the section we talk about in-depth things, but I can, refer them to you when I have them. So thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much.
If you're still watching up to now, do what to like, subscribe, and share this video with somebody else. Thank you, Esther, for coming. My name is Mr. Magic One. Of course, I am the Confidence Doctor. Bye for now.